Welcome back, everybody, to Tabletop Tactics. You join me, Chaos Lord Beard, and today our live stream is brought to you by the best in the business. To my left, we have Mr. Lawrence Baker, aka the Spider. A wink and a shout.
Yeah, why not?
I thought you were going to mime your way through the whole live stream.
Dance it all about.
Very nice. And to my right, we have Mr. James Jordan, aka the Bard.
Good morning and afternoon to you.
Bit of both for everyone across the globe. And on the ones and twos, we have Caterfode, aka Jinx, on the ones and twos, being on the technical desk today for your live stream pleasure. Today we're here to talk about the Warhammer previews revealed at Adepticon, and we're going to react like this. And so on and so forth. But I've got a few housekeeping things to cover first of all. A few housekeeping things.
Do you like a duster?
What?
Housekeeping.
Nice. We are on the precipice, I tell you, of 200,000 subscribers. So thank you to everyone that subscribed from day one to today. We appreciate you thoroughly. I would encourage everyone, if you're not already subscribed and you're right here listening to me yammer on, hit subscribe, because we're very close to 200,000. We want to be there. We want to take you with us. And because of that, I've put subscriber only in the chat. So you have to subscribe. So sub away, and we will embark towards 200,000 subs. Speaking of subs and people signing up to stuff, we also are just about there with 2,000 active members within our league in the app.
That's right.
So for
crazy.
anyone, it's very, very cool.
Yeah.
So we launched the league in our app 6 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago?
Really? I think it's like 4
3
weeks.
weeks ago?
4 weeks ago?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
A little bit of time ago, and we've been amazed by how many people have joined up and started playing.
Well, I think
games.
it's actually about 5,000 people which are actually signed up to the league, but they haven't locked their faction yet.
Yeah.
So there are people thinking, 3,000 odd people thinking about, which faction am I going to choose to lock in for the season? But it's really exciting.
Very
It's
exciting.
a big decision.
Because we also ran our first test event, didn't we?
Indeed, yeah.
That's a live event right here in our venue. We ran it.
Real human beings.
And that was the crazy thing. There were real people that came in to the event to play.
it's very
And
cool.
they used our app. And it was a really good success.
Yeah.
You can check out the results in the app, funnily enough.
You can indeed. So if you want to check that out, go download our app on the App Store or the Google Play Store. If you'd like to get involved with the league, it's completely free. Every game that you play within the league at home, you can rank yourself amongst the nearly thousands of people actively playing games within the league. So check it out. We'd love to see you there. I'm currently 128th best Chaos player in the TT League, which I don't know if that's good. Probably not, considering I work here, but I have the numbers, so that's fun. So you can get involved as well. The other exciting thing, talking about people competing, our own Fletcher Giles, our studio painter, is currently at Adepticon right now.
Our man on the ground.
Yeah, he has entered Golden Demon, and we wish him the very best of luck. If you don't win a Golden Demon this time, you're fired. So just consider that before you come back. But all jokes aside, we're very excited to see how he does.
The good news is I'm in charge of who's fired, so I quite like Fletcher, so we'll keep him. But I should chain him to the desk, you're right.
Yeah,
he doesn't
maybe.
win anything.
Yeah. So good luck, Fletcher, if you're watching. We're very excited to see how you get on at Adepticon. Before we get into the Adepticon news, I'm just going to go through a couple of super chats. So thank you to everyone. If you'd like to get involved with the conversation today, we're going to be here for about an hour and a half, 2 hours roughly. We have some chats, some super chats, in fact, from our lovely audience. If you want to ask some questions, get involved with the conversation, give us a super chat and we will do our very best to get back to you. I will do my very best to get back to you on my computer device right here. Sloppity Biotyper.
The man.
Yeah.
The myth, the legend.
Yeah, well, such a myth and legend. He isn't actually here. He won't be able to catch this one, but he hopes we enjoy the preview, so that's nice. But also,
Ever present.
Ghost Gaven.
Typer.
Skink with a blunderbuss sent one through before we even started, saying...
It's also a great name.
Yeah, the usernames are getting better every week. He says, Beard munches bread, Chaos is sweet cool, Iron Warriors follow, standing tall, Italian loaves, they're fuel for all, in Chaos embrace, they never fall. The litany of the Iron Warriors.
That is a beautiful sonnet, worthy of Shakespeare himself.
The bread, the wave of bread has got slightly out of control.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I'm a fan.
Yes. If you want to get involved with the break conversation, Silent on Demand, there is lore being written within our very forums on the website and in the app. So get involved in the podcast.
Avatars being made.
We selected which breads we'd be.
Yes.
So it's all kicking off.
Very exciting stuff. Sign up now to find out what bread we will be. Last son of Nostromo says, will the TT team be at Salute? Some of us will.
Some of us, I believe.
Who is?
I am definitely, and there are definitely people that said they'd come with me and not leave me all by myself.
Katie and Pending will be at Salute. So keep an eye out for Katie and Pending. Flyfisher 150, very first super chat from Flyfisher 150. Been watching since the kitchen days.
Oh, legend!
There we go. Wonderful.
Back in the OG days.
Yeah, boy, when the production value was high, as were our spirits.
When the loaves had only just gone in the oven.
Yeah, we were dough in the oven at that point.
We were underbaked, is what we were.
Being watched since kitchen days, seeing Bane Blaze get shot by getting one shot by a las cannon, good times.
Oh,
First time catching a live stream. Thank you very much for joining us here
thank
today. Plague Bearer Bob has just done a $5. Thank you, Plague Bearer Bob.
Thank you.
It's very
Plague
kind
Bearer
of you. If you have something you'd like to say it again. Scotchworth here.
Oh!
Oh, nice Scotchware.
Scotchworth
my
says,
good
while I
man.
thought the reveal show was pretty good, I feel like it would have been better with new Primaris Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Scotchworth.
I don't think there are enough Primaris Lieutenants.
No, I think we need some more.
We do need some more.
Yeah, very weird to not see any. But for now, we will talk about what we have seen at Adepticon. If you have any more questions, comments, spread recommendations, whatever, send us a super chat and we'll get back to them later on. Hello.
There is one thing that we should talk about, though.
Okay.
You said, what, are we going to be at Salute?
Oh,
well,
yes.
Okay, Katie will be at Salute plus Pending.
Oh, yeah.
But we are also definitely going to be, and we invite you to be there too, because it's going to be a very huge open forum. It's completely free to attend.
We're doing the podcast live, everybody. Yes.
Live.
At the UK Games Expo.
The UK Games Expo.
The UK Games Expo.
yes.
It's kind of a big deal.
We've got our own suite in the Hilton.
We do.
We do indeed.
Pretty sweet.
Pretty
Pretty sweet.
So this will be in the
yeah.
conference centre in the Hilton, as I understand it. There's no tickets needed. It's free entry. You can just turn up, which is really, really cool.
Do they need a ticket for the Games Expo itself?
No.
I don't believe so.
So yeah, it should be free.
So if you're
We're
going to the
certainly
Games
not charging.
Expo,
I believe you do need a ticket to attend the Games
You
Expo.
need a ticket for the
Redacted.
Games
You
Expo.
do need a ticket.
if you're at the
We're
Games
not
Expo-
charging
No,
you.
we're not charging. If you're already at the expo, you can just come along. It's 11 a.m. on the Sunday, I believe.
I think it's 12.
12 on the Sunday. It's really exciting. We're very, very excited. We're going to be doing the podcast live, doing a bit of a Q&A. But yeah, we'd love to see you there. It'll be great. We can hear from our amazing community in person.
Yeah.
Chat with
Very
you,
exciting.
answer your questions.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. It's
Yeah,
going to be a
Really,
very
really
cool time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be able to smell the loaves in the
Wow.
room.
Wow. Not sure that's a
Yeah,
great
bring
thing.
big bread baskets.
We should.
Just throw
Yeah.
buns into
Get one of
the
those t-shirt
audience.
cannons with baguettes. Boom.
Javelins.
And they all died. Right, let's begin. I'll get back. There are some more super chats. I'll get back to them in a bit. It will calm down, please. Age of Sigmar, the new
Yeah.
edition.
Yeah.
Hashtag new Aus.
Oh, nice. Nice, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's a man holding an axe that looks like a space marine, but he is a Age of Sigmar man. Now, I've said this almost every stream for a while. We will have picture-in-picture at some point. Apologies. Go on to the Warhammer community, follow through with me on the article.
along at home.
But for now, you'll have to make do with my face. There is a new edition of Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
There's a very fancy trailer.
Your favourite rat men were involved.
The Skaven.
There was a lot of Skaven.
It
Yes.
looks really cool.
They looked
Cinematic trailer, pumped them up.
It's very
massively.
cool.
Yeah, that was cool, yeah.
Yeah, it looked great. Now, no new models.
No new models?
Specifically for the new edition. There's a cinematic
Right.
trailer and a sort of a bit of a first look into what the game is going to be
reveal
like.
any models or anything. thus
No,
far, yeah.
but they have said that they're sort of doing a big redo
Right.
for Sigmar.
What have they said?
Well, they're basically doing the core rules again.
Right. Oh, so this is an index type thing? Because I've not read the preview. I've seen the cinematic trailer,
Yeah.
just for context.
Yeah, so they're redoing the core rules and they're doing a index for all the factions.
Oh, so they've even said that?
Which is very interesting because they've also done the same with 10th edition.
That-
so we're
that-
going to be in a double situation of two game systems with two indexes.
Indexes
Yes.
ahoy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So it's interesting because that means that it's either going to be so radically different that the index was a necessity, or they've changed a couple of the core things enough to warrant an index. Oh, well, how different is it going to be, I wonder?
I guess
what does this mean?
Shall I read an excerpt?
Read an excerpt!
And I quote, "The core rules have been reforged for the first time since the first edition of the game."
Okay.
Oh.
Released way back in 2015. The focus has been on streamlining, accessibility, and modularity, but not at the expense of depth, to ensure that the epic fantasy battles of your imagination can be recreated on the tabletop. They have also said it's absolutely still Age of Sigmar you know and love, with all the friction taken out cleanly and smartly. It has the tactical and strategic nuance of previous editions, driven by a real desire for the background to show through on the tabletop.
Interesting.
Last paragraph.
Okay.
On top of all of that, there are modular rules, plenty more opportunities for reactivity in your opponent's turn via an updated system of command points and abilities, and a ton of tweaks and refinements. Not least to the double turn, which has been fine-tuned into a knife-edge decision with a clever twist to scoring. Put simply, it's the best edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar yet. The last sentence was a bit obvious, because they're not going to say, the current edition's better, this one's fine. But as an Age of Sigmar, I've played it a bit.
Yes, we all have.
And it sounds like some good changes are being made to the things that I was a bit like, about, such as the double turn, which I've never been a big fan of.
Yeah. Which I know is always a controversial point for Sigmar players anyway, because
Yes.
if you're a hardcore Sigmar player, you generally love the double turn.
Yes.
I think we even found towards the end of when we were covering sort of the Sigmar stuff, it certainly had the same as like 9th edition 40k. All of the battle tomes were getting wilder and wilder.
Yes.
It was almost, if you got a new book, it was like, oh, I'm just so much more powerful than anyone around me. So hopefully maybe this is flattening it a bit again, so everyone's on an even playing field before we start.
Well, it sounds very much like the same blurb pre-10th edition, doesn't it, actually? So, I mean, it's like the indexing thing does sound quite... But, I mean, 10th edition is much closer to Sigmar than...
I would say so.
So perhaps the indexing of Sigmar won't be as radical as it was from 9th to 10th for 40k, so it'll be quite interesting.
Very interesting.
They've said that each faction will receive a free downloadable faction pack at launch. All of your current books and such will be obliterated.
Yeah, so it is a proper index.
Proper index,
which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've said many times, we've paused Sigmar as we're covering the old world at the moment, but we're very we're excited about what they might do with the new edition of Sigmar, and we plan on covering it for you guys when it launches. So watch this space. We'll get some games in, and if enough of you like it and want to continue us doing it, then make sure you watch it and tell us you want it, and then we'll carry on making it.
Yeah, for sure. They have also said there is a new game mode called Spearhead, which is basically using the, I can't remember what they're called, the Combat Patrol-esque boxes.
Nice.
So you can play a proper game of Sigmar with one of those battle boxes.
This is probably what they mean about that modular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I bet they'll probably have it so that you can build it up.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure 10th edition's done very well with Combat Patrol.
Combat
the rules
Patrol
are actually
is terrible.
different. Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't. It's not a stepping stone to playing a big
not,
game of 40k.
because you're playing a
different
game. You shouldn't need different. The rules shouldn't change.
What is a good stepping stone?
Tell me.
Boarding action.
What was that game?
Boarding action.
So, was that a thing for a while?
There's a whole podcast about this.
Goodness me!
What I would say on the trailer, though, which I thought was very cool, is while they haven't shown any models, I feel like I spied a rat riding another rat that was like cavalry. As far as I'm aware, there's no Skaven-based cavalry currently existing. So much like, in the 10th edition trailer, when we saw the different various Gribblies, and then we then saw them in like model format.
Yeah.
Perhaps skimming through that trailer, some of the CGI beasties will be new Skaven stuff, maybe.
It'll be interesting to see what they
looks
do
cool.
with the Skaven range, because there's so many clans. I wonder if they're going to focus on one clan or if there'll be lots of different ones.
Right, exactly.
There's a bunch of
And then I
clans.
wonder what happens. So I'm assuming that the range will get a significant update as well, because obviously pretty much the Skaven range as it exists, outside a few of the newer models, are actually all technically old world models.
Yeah.
They are old Warhammer Fantasy models.
Yeah.
So will they nuke them and replace them? At which point,
It's a weird one
Games Workshop,
because-
just give it up and make Legends actually legit in old worlds.
Yeah.
Because everyone's playing them as legit anyway. They're completely ignoring your legacy faction rule. You know, so that you could just sell the old Skaven kits and people would buy them.
It seems like the first faction that could be unlegended.
Well, yeah, it would
Because
make
you
sense.
just divert all of those old models to old world production.
Well, yeah.
Even with the Orcs and Goblins, the Ard Boys for Ironjaws got replaced with a new kit not that long ago.
Right.
And the Ard Boys that used to be
Are now in the old
now
world.
Black Orcs in Orcs and Goblins.
Just
so
do
I
it that
wonder
way,
if
yeah.
potentially they will, over time, just sort of separate the two a bit more, so then it's a bit easier for new people, I suppose.
It's quite clear though that they're having trouble even producing the kits. So
Seems to be that way, yeah.
I wonder if that's why we didn't see too much.
yeah.
There's
They want
a,
to overpromise and underdeliver.
there's a lot of stuff sold out at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there.
No.
Quite interesting.
Don't they have a brand new shiny factory?
Well, that might be the problem. Maybe they've got a
Feeling.
few things to
But if
iron
you've got
out.
a brand new shiny factory, you should be making more brand new shiny things.
Well, too many people want the old shiny metal models for Old World.
Oh, those glorious things.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, that's about it. There's not been a huge amount extra revealed about Sigmar yet. I'm sure there'll be a lot over the next few months.
Yeah, 100%.
But exciting. It's going to be interesting to see how the new game plays.
Yeah. I'm hoping it really injects a lot of interest.
That would be
in-
awesome.
Yeah.
It'd be really
'cause,
cool.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too. Right, we'll quickly touch on the new Chaos Man on Dragon. Oh, Katie's waving.
I have an emergency. You cannot be seen, Beard.
I can't be
You
seen.
cannot be seen.
Oh.
Your camera
Oh,
has died.
I see. Yeah,
I'm going to repair it for you.
You've got no.
But
you've
no one
got
can see you.
No one
You've
can
got no
see
battery.
Beard.
That's okay.
I'm still here, everyone. Don't worry. I'll tell you what. I'll quickly go through. Let's quickly talk about the Chaos Lord man. Not that Chaos Lord. We'll talk about the Sigmar Chaos Lord first,
Okay.
and then soon we'll talk about the Chaos Lords. Because I have a lot to say about the Chaos Lords and the flying Chaos Lord. It's a Chaos Lord on some kind of dragon beast.
It looks like a Balrog.
It does actually look amazing.
It's pretty cool.
It's
Another
a
excellent
really,
Sigmar
really
model.
cool model. It's almost like an upscaled model of the. 'Cause they
Crackerjack.
did. Yeah, exactly. So is he like he's not a dragon equivalent? Or how big is he?
I mean, he looks quite big. It seems to be this is part of the next Dawnbringers book.
Okay.
So this is the Hounds of Chaos. So in comparison to a Varangard, it looks about twice as big as a Varangard.
Okay.
He's pretty
Oh
big.
yeah, you can see the models next to him.
Yeah. He's a big
Okay.
boy.
So he's not quite a dragon. He's. I suppose he's halfway there.
Giant demonic lizard, perhaps.
Yeah, but then sort of demonic mount is just his smaller cousin.
I guess so. Yeah. But he looks very nice. This is another annoying example of Sigmar models just being really, really good compared to some 40k models.
Yeah.
Like some of the ones we'll talk about later on. Can you see me now?
You're back.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sure everyone was very sad that I wasn't there
Absolute
anymore.
pandemonium
Yes.
unfolding.
Right, before we talk about the next Old World faction, we'll just do a couple more super chats. Thank you for getting in touch with your super chats. They're our favourites. Paul is bad at stuff. Hello, Paul. It doesn't take much for me to fall to chaos. They got to keep Lightning Claws on their jump captain. Lightning Claws better than the Emperor. It's quite a claim. Yes, we'll talk about
like
him.
that.
We'll talk about him soon. Longstride Woods. Podcast idea for you, discussing fan-submitted rules changes / additions to 40k rules, core rules and faction-specific stuff.
Well, if you want to submit your ideas to the podcast, if you go over to tabletoptactics.tv/podcast submissions, you can send them in, and we have a whole spreadsheet of your wonderful ideas, and we do go through them. So I'd love to hear more from you all.
Indeed. Commander Bernhardt. Love the AOS reveals, fits my name and image perfectly. SOTHR forever. I don't know what that means. But forever.
Shadow of the Horned Rat.
Oh,
Legends.
Nice.
It is.
Nice.
One of the greatest games ever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Goose.
Honk honk.
Thank you very much for your super chat. It's very generous of
Thank
you.
you very much, Mr. Goose.
The preview show was good. Format was a nice change. I didn't actually watch it.
No.
but I'll take your word for it. Was anyone else disappointed that there was 3 times the amount of talking the model showing, and they were very quick showing each model with not the best videos, in my opinion?
Is that the video that they did, a preview that they did at Adepticon?
I think that was the preview. I think they're doing more of like a talk show style thing.
I think I understand it was kind of a bit more like almost like E3. They're doing more like
Oh,
talky
okay.
bits. But I do also wonder if a lot of the we were talking about it, and this will come up when we talk about the very brief Heresy and Necromunda reveals.
Yeah.
It almost feels as that if they are having stock issues or production issues, there's a lot of like, here's a cinematic trailer, and it was like, we'll show you models soon.
Yeah.
Because it's weird that even when the 10th edition trailer, I feel like didn't at Adepticon they showed the Terminator and the Termagaunt.
Yes.
So at least there was a little something of models. Whereas I
Nothing.
think it is strange we haven't seen any of the new Age of Sigmar. So maybe it's like they're trying to show and they can't tell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
That's my tinfoil hat.
It's quite
theory
weird.
Anyway.
It's quite weird, but I'm sure we'll see some models soon
Cute
enough.
observations, Mr. Goose.
Jan Morton Strand has sent 2
Hey.
comments for the glory of the Great Horned Rat. Yes. That's what he said. I wasn't abbreviating. I
can
said,
see.
yeah.
That's what Skaven.
That's the
Yes.
thing.
And then Jan also says the clan on Rat Mount is Claw Lord on Brood Horror. That's what it is.
So have they said that, have they?
I think Jan might just be guessing.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
Maybe. I don't think she had any models. Alexis the Rose Queen.
Hey.
Hello. I forgot about the stream. Lol. I'm happy. That wasn't me doing lol. I'm reading it. I'm happy for some stuff like the Chaos Dude and Lizard Dragon. Stay awesome. We will stay awesome.
Thank you.
Forever
Yes,
and ever.
yes, we will.
And then Alistair, first time super chatting. Thank you,
Thank you,
Alistair.
Alistair.
Loving cast players so far. Great fun watching you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
We have fun doing
Yeah,
cast
we
We
players
do have
as well.
fun.
And then finally, Oran A.
Oh.
Alpha. Not beta. Oran A. For A tier.
Yeah.
Abraxia is the right-hand woman of Archaon and leader of the Varangard. Happy Thursday, everyone. Looking forward to Beer's thoughts on Chaos Space Stream releases. I'll give you some soon.
That's
Yes, so
the
stop calling her a boy.
Oh, Abraxia. Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yeah.
Now I understand. So this
She's
is the
lizard lord.
the not dragon person that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hang on.
Good, this is acceptable.
Well, either way,
Sorry,
it's a great model.
Abraxia.
Great model.
I take it all back. Right. Let's talk for a short while about the dwarves. Thank you all for your super
nice.
chats. We appreciate you. If you've got any more, get in touch. The Dwarven Mountain Holds.
Yeah.
Now this is interesting to me because it does show that the old range stands up quite well.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
The old models look great, so we're going to get a battalion box for the Dwarven Mountain Holds,
Very cool.
as well as their Arcane Journal, which is very exciting. And not 1, not 2, but 4 new models.
And they all
Very
look
cool.
really good.
They're really
4
nice.
new models.
They all look really good.
They're really, really cool.
So this is interesting to me for a couple of reasons. One is that each release so far has been different. So Bretonia's had a decent amount of new models. 6, 7, 8 different kits, I think.
Yeah.
The Orcs got 2 single
Yeah.
characters.
Mhm. Yeah.
The Dwarves have got 4 single characters.
Yeah.
So it's completely random.
Seems a bit random, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
I did wonder with the dwarves though. I think a lot of the ones there that were very, very old models.
Yeah.
They're
I
all
think-
very old models though, aren't
I
they?
think the newer, the infantry and stuff, it was relatively newer.
Yeah,
as
the
I
dwarves are
understand
one
it.
of the fantasy armies which did have several updates over the years, so they
Yeah.
will hold up better than some of the other armies, I guess. But
Now,
Yeah.
I would say,
Go on.
right.
what would you say?
I know, obviously, I wasn't the biggest fan of Votan. A lot of people have me down as someone that doesn't like dwarves in fantasy or sci-fi settings.
Are you not a Brotan?
I'm all about these guys.
Yeah.
This is my kind of speed. Like
Proper dwarf.
I'm Gimli all day in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
That's the vibe. Like they look wicked.
dwarves were dwarves and orcs were orcs.
But no, I think I love all of the new models. Like incredible for this release.
Yeah, that's sweet.
I'm big
Does it make
into
you
all of
wonder
them.
whether it would be so cool to have everything re-sculpted?
Yeah.
That'd be nice. But then, do you think you lose some of the weird nostalgic magic?
Well, maybe, yeah, because as you say, I agree actually. The old kits here really do stand up, and it's incredible what just putting them on a slightly larger base actually does.
Now, what does make me very excited is one of my favourite all-time old world factions is Empire of Man,
Yeah.
and we've seen nothing from them.
No.
Nada.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And if
They can't be far off.
all of the characters you could do.
Yeah.
Vampire, you've got like obviously like the priests of Sigmar, you've got various generals, you've got all the different knightly imagine Knights Panther or something.
Oh.
Knights of the White Wolf.
Oh,
The,
it'd be
the
really
potential, the potential is
God.
is very, very exciting. So
on,
we
Alice.
have 2 new Dwarven Lords which come in the battalion box.
Very cool.
In plastic.
Oh, they're in plastic as well.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Oh, okay.
Plastic.
Yeah.
We
Plastic.
then have 2 Forge World resin models.
Okay.
He's really cool.
You have the Dwarven Thane with his handgun.
That's cool.
Hang on a minute. Oh no, he's the Lord. You've got the Thane with his handgun, which looks like more of a hand cannon to me.
Yeah.
And you also have the Slayer King of Karak, Kadrin, who's my favourite.
He's Mega Axe Man,
Really
isn't he?
cool.
He's a bad boy. His
is.
axe is the same size as him, and he looks very, very angry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got a pointy
cool,
helmet.
man.
He's great. Big fan. So yes, there is also going to be a re-release of some plastic dwarves. There's going to be some Forge World resins redone and some of the metal kits, which is very exciting. It looks like quite a lot of the old range is being redone. They showed off that crazy axe throwing contraption, which we have one
We've
of,
got one, yeah.
which is very exciting.
We have a dwarf army.
We do have a dwarf army.
There will be.
You'll be seeing them shortly.
Yeah.
Hey, because they're dwarves.
They're
very short.
It's a good thing about you being is you're never short of a joke.
Hey, thank you. I don't want to. No, I've run out. Yeah, so big.
I just breathed a sigh of relief. I could feel them coming my way.
Quick, Katie, unplug the camera again.
So a big redo for the dwarves. Nice battalion box with lots of very cool
look
models.
good,
They
the
look
Serried
great.
ranks, don't they?
They look really good.
Yeah, it's not about it.
So it'll be very interesting to see what comes after the dwarves. Well, I tell you what. Place your bet. What's going to be the next one after dwarves? Have a guess.
I want it to be Empire of Man.
Empire.
I
Man, what
think
do you
it would
think?
be
But
Empire.
I
You
think
think
I would bet that it would
they'll
be.
do an elf.
They've done goody baddie so far.
That is true. They
They'll
could
do
do.
some
Well, they've not
form of
revealed
elf.
any of the Wood Elf stuff.
I haven't
have
seen any
they?
Wood Elves or High Elves or anything.
So I imagine they'll get a couple of new characters.
Chaos, perhaps.
Oh, we haven't seen Chouse.
That's true. There is old Chaos. Yeah.
Old Chouse.
That'd be cool.
I don't know now.
The Dark Elves, are they legends?
Dark Elves are legends.
Oh, what a
apparently.
stupid thing!
Even though the images on their website for the entire range are still on square bases, bar 1 unit.
We shall see.
Very
It will make sense for it to go goody baddie because there's one more baddie than goody factions. They go goody baddie goody.
Yeah.
A goody baddie goody goody baddie good. And that's the song they'll do.
I have a horrible feeling Empire of Man will be last.
Do you think?
Because they're in theory, the youngest of all the factions, aren't
Yeah,
they? So their lore will have to have the most, because there's no Karl Franz, there's none of that.
That's true.
So that might be at the end.
Yeah.
Frangipan.
Hang on in there.
Right, we're going to quickly go through Underworlds and Warcry before we talk about my boys. And we'll do some super chats and then my boys. Okay. So we have Warhammer Underworlds, Wintermoor. I have no interest in playing this game, but the models are always so good. They look like something out of Elden Ring.
Yes.
Yeah,
Demon
Souls.
I just want them to do a 40k version of Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just cool little kill. Like I think what's brilliant about this is I think a lot of people buy them just you can pay up like 5 models. It's just a fun little project.
Yeah.
They're quite cost effective from memory. Like I've done a couple of them in the past.
Yeah.
They're just a lot
They're
of
great
fun.
role-playing game minis.
They're awesome, yeah.
You know,
Like if you want to collect
standalone
D&D
characters or
stuff
something,
or
yeah.
things, they're awesome for that.
Yeah. So the main character from the Brethren of the Bolt, some ingenious sculptor has managed to make someone sitting on someone else's shoulders with a trench coat look utterly terrifying.
Yeah.
And it does as well.
Yeah.
I think it's phenomenal. It's one of my favourite miniatures for a long while.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
We've also got some more spooky ghouls, which is fun, adding to that excellent range. And then we also have Warcry, Briar and Bone, which
love
sounds
the
like a
Warcry
pub that you go to in the Netherrealm.
I reckon it's a flat roof boozer.
Let's go for a pint at the Briar and Bones. Oh, we'll get stabbed. So in there, we've got some Skelly Boys and also some...
a pint of your finest carling.
Oh, yes. What are these guys?
They're the Sylvaneth.
They're Sylvaneth.
Sylvaneth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She's got beads in her hair.
And then a walking monster tree.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's also kind of creepy and terrifying. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's great. All of the terrain they've released throughout the Warcry series has been
It's been
exceptional.
phenomenal. Yeah.
It's
It's
very,
so
very
good.
cool.
Like credit to the design team for all the Warcry stuff. It
Yeah.
always looks so cool.
Excellent stuff. So yeah, some more excellent models coming from there. Right, before we talk about Chaos Space Marines, let's do a couple more super chats. Mullet Man 33, the 33rd of his name, says, I think I remember Spider and Chef saying 1,000 points can be made for more competitive games. Any plans for events/vids in this format? Also love the pod.
Thanks, thank you. Well, I was controversially talking about, whether I do make the league 1,500 points at one point. I think the trouble is when you're trying to cater to, the majority, which probably want to play 2,000. I remember the ITC did a poll way back in 7th edition, and there was this real moment of opportunity where the ITC could have dropped down to 1,500 points, which is actually what Frankie and Reese were pushing for. So I think they too recognised the game actually plays better competitively at a lower points cost. Anyway, the vast majority, way vast majority, wanted bigger points, 2,000 points. So that's what it stayed at. Because people want to bring all of their toys. Yeah. So I think whilst it's a nice pipe dream, I don't see us doing that as the standard format. Will we run some lower points events? Absolutely, probably narrative ones as well. We'll definitely run narrative events, but maybe some of the narrative events will have like the day one you'll only use 1,000 points, and then day two it'll escalate to 2,000 points sort of thing. But yeah, that's kind of my thinking at the moment.
Very exciting. And then Hollow Proof. It's Hollow Proof's first super chat.
Thank you.
Hollow Proof says Stormcast and Stormcast player and Dark Angels, you guys rock. You rock too. And if you want to rock, why don't you also do a super chat? We're on subscriber only mode in the chat today because we've nearly hit 200,000 subscribers on our very YouTube channel. So if you want to get involved with the conversation, hit subscribe, wait for 1 minute, and then you can send a super chat and talk to us about Chaos Space Marines. Right, everyone listen to me for a minute. Chaos Space Marines getting a new codex. We'll talk about the models in a minute. We're getting 8 detachments in that codex, which makes me a very excited Chaos Lord. Now, there's 2 Battle Force boxes coming as well, all full of infantry, which is very exciting.
They're both great.
They're very cool. We'll talk about those in a minute. The codex has 8 detachments. That's 8. That's 1 more than 7, 1 less than 9.
Double the amount the Tau got.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go out on a whim and presume that will cover the Chaos Legions, being Word Bearers, Iron Warriors, Alpha Legion, Night Lords, Black Legion, Emperor's Children. They've said you've then got Vastor detachment. Vastor get its own detachment. Vastor happy.
And it will probably be called Vastor detachment.
Vastor army. And it's just Vastor. You can only use Vastor.
Same thing, it will have an incredibly cool name, like Vastor the Archifane.
Yeah.
What's your rule? Vastor rules.
Yeah. All the stratagems are just called Vastor move, Vastor shoot, Vastor fight.
Well, that is what they should be called when they couldn't name his hammer or anything other than Vastor hammer.
So Iron Warriors, Alpha Legion, Night Lords, Black Legion, Word Bearers, Vastor. They've said pirates, which I'm presuming is Red Corsairs. That leaves 1 more,
Renegades.
which I would presume would be Creations of Bile. Because they're in the last one.
Well, that's a thing.
Fabulous William.
So that's quite a nice potential little.
So what does that mean then, as an Emperor's Children player? What does that mean? Does that mean that we don't have a potential for a codex, do you think? Because I'm still hopeful that it will happen.
Right. 7th edition, we got Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
8th edition, we got Death Guard.
Yeah.
9th edition, we got World Eaters. 10th edition, we're getting Emperor's Children.
It has to happen.
Of course it's going to happen.
Also, Fulgrim returning would be...
Yeah. Be pretty spicy. It
would be.
Imagine
Very
those cultists. Imagine Emperor Children cultists.
Yeah.
Now, can't look at them.
I would say...
PG-13.
Some people have already identified the whole, obviously, they're saying Chaos are getting 8 detachments and the Tau Codex just had 4.
Yeah.
I would say I'm not too worried about that because I think Tau got 4 great detachments and you kind of need at least 8 to cover the breadth
It's a big range.
of Chaos. In the same way with Space Marines, there's so many diverse
6, 8?
factions within it. I think they only had 6.
6, yeah.
Obviously, you've then got Blood Angels and all the supplements to cover and stuff like that. But I think it's pretty reasonable that Chaos would have 8.
Yeah.
And it covers a lot of ground. And you'd like to think if they're doing stuff like Pirates and Vastor, they will be quite different.
Yeah.
As opposed to kind of treading over the same ground and just it being the same kind of detachment
Yeah.
in a multitude of colours.
Yeah.
It seems like they've got a plan, which I quite like. And it being 8 is also very cool.
Well, there are 8 points on the Chaos Star.
The 8-fold
Coincidence? Or
It's
not?
very clever. You know what
Very
else is very
clever.
clever?
Tell me.
Just quickly, Zakon's first super chat says, "That's your super chat." Well done. Welcome.
Perfect. Thank
Well
you.
played. A
Welcome.
Scotchworth to you.
One Scotchworth. So that's very exciting. I am pretty buzzed about this book, mainly because the Tau one was so good.
Oh, the Tau one
I
was
hope
great.
it follows in that same trajectory of being
hope so too.
exciting again, because some of them, they've been a bit hit and miss. Dark Angels was a bit sad. That was a miss. We'll have to wait and see. What we don't have to wait and see is 2 new Chaos Space Marine models. One of them is a Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
He's the Lord of Chaos.
And
is.
he looks like it too.
He does. You know what
Yeah.
else he looks like? He looks like a Chaos Warrior from Sigmar because of his cloak.
He actually does.
He looks
He really
wicked.
does.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, it's a lot better than the current one, which is the push fit monopose hammer and pistol.
One that
man.
looks like Phil Mitchell.
Chaos Phil Mitchell. Mitchell of the Warp. And it's multi-part. So I can see
yeah, man.
he's got a power fist, he's got a power maul, a thunder hammer, a regular, an axe, and also a plasma pistol. So there's lots of different options there for him, war gear wise. They are gourmet bits. That hammer's very nice. I will be interested to see if they all have their own rules or if it's Chaos Lord power weapon.
Oh, they wouldn't do that, would
I
they?
think
Presumably
it'd be more
he'll
like
have
the captain's
power
stuff.
fist,
Get
axe,
options.
No, they can't
ball,
do that.
Hammer.
Cursed weapon.
They can't
Yeah.
do that. Oh, I'd be really upset if they did
Yeah, that'd
that.
be frustrating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say no.
I think it will be a bit of a mix.
I'm sure they won't do that. They've not done that with any of the other characters, have they?
No.
Have they?
I don't think so. We'll have to.
No, the Lieutenants and Space Marines have all the options.
Yeah, okay.
Normally in multi-part, it looks like it'll be fine.
Okay.
Now, the next option. I'm very confused, frightened,
This is a
and
give us and
excited.
taketh away moment, isn't it?
The Chaos Lord with Jump Pack is back.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be saying that today.
No, which is phenomenal.
Jump Lord's back, baby!
The only thing they failed to do is bring a drop pod back. Well, they never even gave
never
them in the
had
first
one.
place. But you know,
Used them all.
We had one for a while.
they're
and then it
one
got
step
Legends.
away from greatness here.
Yeah.
Is the model great though?
No, it's not.
Okay. Well, that was a great conversation.
And can I tell you for why?
Yeah, well, I agree with you.
I think that the model itself is fine,
Yeah.
but it looks like a Raptor's
Raptor
sergeant.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not particularly special in any way. His pose is a bit awkward. It looks like he's been shot in the back.
Yeah.
And it's just not what I was imagining at all when we ended up getting our new Chaos Lord. So he's all right. He's not quite hit for me.
For me, there's an old saying there: just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Just because you can now sculpt things mid-flight
Yeah.
doesn't mean you should be sculpting things mid-flight.
Oh, I will say this though.
Claw one's nice.
The claw one's much better.
Yeah.
The pose works much
It's
better.
the
Yeah.
legs that are awkward, though, aren't
But
they?
their legs are awkward.
Because it's
Yeah.
mid-flight.
Yeah,
And
it's mid-flight.
I would posit most things, unless it's a bird,
Yeah.
look a bit strange mid-flight. It's
Yeah.
a strange position for anything to be in.
Yeah.
And I found the same with the Assault Intercessor kits.
Yeah.
With the jump pack ones.
Well, I think a lot of people said
Trying
that
to get
too,
the
yeah.
mid-flight thing kind of looks a bit weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, you either want them
Launching.
landing or launching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in some sort of attack dive, maybe.
Yeah,
you
like the
could do
Space
something
Marine
like
Captain
that.
kind of works because he's
Yeah.
jumping forwards. It's like, oh,
And Mr. Bringer of the Apocalypse.
Yes,
What's his
Harkin.
name? Harkin
Well,
Volclaim.
well
That
claimed
was a
himself.
very, very cool
Yeah,
job.
because he's
Yeah.
in like more of an attack dive.
and
Yeah.
even Dante to an extent looks like he's about to land.
Yeah.
Whereas the sort of like move is.
I
a
think that
bit-
the arm physicality of the claws is fantastic. Actually,
Yeah.
I think the other weapon option, the axe and the plasma pistol, does not lend itself to the body very well.
Yeah.
It might be that you're able to reposition those arms, which would be really great. The only downside with the more modern process that GW have, though, is a lot of their kind of push fit in. So you can repost them, but it requires cutting and carving, and you need to be a bit more expert at it.
Yeah.
But I think that the upper body looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if it's a shame the legs aren't out in front of him, like
Yeah.
because they've
Like
got talons.
talons,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know.
It's
Look,
interesting.
for me, the fact that a Lord with jump pack even exists
He's back,
again
baby!
outweighs everything else. And there are still some gourmet bits on there to convert your own.
Yeah.
Boy, howdy.
It's a great
Like if you just get the jump pack and whack it on the other Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah. It's absolutely. This is really cool.
It's very exciting.
The box it comes in, it's like him, raptors, cultists.
Yeah,
They're really well put together boxes, I think.
So you've
Actually,
got...
that's interesting. So he's got 2 talents there.
Yeah.
Well, then we should hope that he can join the Warp Talents. Because I wasn't sure if they might do something like, oh, here's your Chaos Lord jump pack, but you can only join Raptors, you know.
Sanguinary Priest.
The 10th... No, don't, please.
Interestingly,
Please.
So speaking of the Battle Force boxes, so there's 2 boxes coming for Chaos Space Marine release. You've got the Dread Talons, which includes the Jump Lord. He comes with, this is a great box, a Demon Prince, a Cursed Cultist, the normal cultists, what are they called? Those 5, the Black Abbess. What's their name?
Oh, the Dark Commune.
The Dark Commune, thank you. And you also get a unit of Raptors and unit of Warp Talons. So presumably...
Very cool.
Presumably you can. Presumably. One would presume. The other box you're getting is the Veterans of the Long War with the Chaos Lord on foot. This box you get 10 Terminators, 10 Legionnaires, 5 Chosen and 5 Possessed. They're 2 very nice boxes.
They are actually
Really
really
cool.
nice.
Very nice boxes. Yeah. What I am a bit sad about is that both of those characters seem to be locked in those boxes.
Right.
Presumably.
Okay.
Because they're in those boxes.
Or if they're following the same sort of thing they've
done it.
And custodians.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I would say with all of these things, it's what I said. We were talking about this on one of the podcasts. That ultimately, it's a shame that it's boxed up, but these things now exist, so they will be available soon.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a way of getting around. They don't want it to be crazy selling out on day one, and maybe as soon as it is out, it will be available to purchase, which is patience. But it's cool that they're here.
Yeah.
If you can pick up both boxes, though, that's a wicked start to a
That's
Chaos
a nice
Army.
army.
That's an
Awesome
army at that
army,
point,
yeah,
isn't
right?
it? Let's face it, yeah.
And they both feel super different.
Yeah.
Like the Dread Talons feels really like you've got all your cultists and then the heavy hitters, and the Veterans of the Long War's like solid, chunky, gnarly chaos dudes.
It's really cool.
It's really cool. Like,
Very exciting. Jump Lords.
very cool.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's great.
Oh boy, I'm a happy
You'll
boy.
be jumping to get one.
Nice. Right, let's do a few more super chats. Thank you for everyone getting in touch with your super chats. Wookie Cookie, very generous super chat. Thank you, Wookie Cookie.
We'll get loads of cookies for that.
He's a good cookie. No, what is it?
He's a good cookie.
It's good egg.
Good egg. What's good cookie?
I mean, eggs go into cookies, don't they? That's how you make a cookie.
You can be
They
a
can.
good cookie. Can you?
Can you?
You can be an excellent Scotchworth.
Yes.
You can be one of those.
Just when I think my Light Lord's army is complete, Games Workshop drop a Chaos Lord with jump pack.
Very cool.
Oh boy, you guys are awesome, and you got it back to 40k. We're very excited about that.
Fantastic.
It's very nice to hear. Thank you, Wookie Cookie, Lord of Cookies. Paul is bad at stuff. Vator is an engineer, so his naming is not creative. His stratagems will be called Vashtor_strat_2_final_draft.txt or Vator placeholder.
You're very good at super chats, Paul. So you're not bad at stuff.
Yes. Chris Donai, first super chat. Thank you, Chris. Any thoughts on the horizon for doing any Old World Crusade narrative campaigns? Been loving all the work you guys do.
Got one planned.
Yeah, boy howdy.
That is really good. We're just waiting for a very important kit that we need.
Yes. Otherwise,
Which will make
we
sense.
got some plans.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool.
Plans.
Very exciting. Free Radio Armageddon. I would like. I would play Kill Team, but the faction I really want to play is 2 Ambles.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, 2 amp. Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I get it.
Ambles, those are great models.
Would they be like connected in some way? If one died with the other one being enraged? Because that would be cool.
Yeah.
Probably.
Aw,
Like a
little
hunting pack.
buddies.
Be
Yeah.
sad.
When one dies.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, and then he eats people.
Yeah.
Did he eat people? I presume so.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
yeah, why not? Joe Goff. Must be Goff. Goff, yes.
Yeah, like Van Gogh.
Yes. First super chat from Joe Goff. How would you feel about separate Chaos Space Marine legions, Thousand Sons, etc., becoming codex supplements like with regular Space Marines? I don't think they would, because interestingly, Thousand Sons, Death Guard, and World Eaters are actually much bigger factions than Blood Angels, Dark Angels. I don't know about Space Wolves, but those are full-on armies.
I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I do kind of like the divergent nature from a fluff perspective because at least the supplements are Space Marines are trying to adhere to the Codex Astartes. They're just slightly deviant. Whereas obviously Death Guards, and they're so subservient to their particular Chaos God, they are a totally different entity at that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even towards the end of the Heresy, they're not getting on at all.
Yeah.
They're not friends.
Yeah.
They're all they don't really like each other at all. So I think it kind of works. I wouldn't mind it if there were supplements, but it gives it more room.
It would be cool. Yeah, I just don't know. And the requirement would be then to give them more of their own unique units, wouldn't it?
Oh, actually, I actually have a stronger opinion than I thought I initially did.
Oh, okay.
Look
Make
at you.
them their own codex, because that's why Dark Angels was rubbish. Because it
really?
had to rely on the fact it can also be part of Space Marines.
Yeah, well, there is that, isn't there? Because, and you know what? That probably makes a lot of sense, what you're saying, because if you think about the World Eaters and you think about the Thousand Suns and hopefully Emperor's Children in the future, they will be their own standalone codexes, like they currently are, like World Eaters and the Thousand Suns, and the Death Guard. And I think it therefore makes sense to deviate things like the Blood Angels and the Dark Angels and the Space Wolves, who always had they always had their own. They didn't have Space Marines. They had Blood Claws. They got Grey Hunters. So it makes sense to do that.
100%. Because my worry would be if you suddenly had Codex Supplement World Eaters, your Berserkers would have to compete with Chosen.
Yeah.
So in that book, what is better? They can't fill the same role.
You are better off just sort of making your own
Whereas in
codex.
World Eaters, it's like Berserkers are really, really good because they're your assault infantry.
Yeah, because
So
Black
they get their breathing room.
Templars kind of have their own.
Yeah, because
They've got their Crusaders.
Yeah.
So, they've got their own vibe going on. They don't technically... why should they have access to the normal Space Marine stuff? Because they operate differently,
like
right?
Dark Angels, you've got the problem. You've got Deathwing Knights, you've got Deathwing Terminators, you've got Inner Circle Companions, you've got Blade Guard, you've got Centurions, all the things you could take makes it too big. So actually having a Codex, I think, gives you more freedom in a strange way.
I wish we had a Black Templars army. Would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be very
It's
Maybe
never
one day
going
we
to
will.
happen.
Now, thank you everyone for your super chats. I said at the beginning and in the middle, we are on our way to 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. So because of that, I have cheated and put the chat in subscriber only mode to force you all to subscribe. So that is where you go for the chats. And also if you'd like to super chat, please do so. It helps out massively and we can read out your comments and discuss them if they're interesting.
Appreciate it a lot.
Yes.
So thank you.
Chaos Space Marines, very exciting.
Yeah.
It is very exciting.
Kill Team Termination. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Now, this is interesting because they have given your favourite faction some coats. So the Votan have some coats. I actually quite like these.
They're pretty cool models.
I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
I think they're really cool.
They look like a special operations Votan squad.
If they had launched with those as the infantry,
Yeah.
I'd have been more on board.
They look way cooler and way more dwarf-like than the normal range. Or all you need to do really is just buy like 10 boxes of this Kill Team set and then that could be your army.
I can see they're a very cool kit.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Votan in general, but they're wicked models.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're really cool.
The next thing though is
Yes.
very cool.
So the Brood, what were they called before?
Brood Brothers?
Brood Brothers are back.
It's so cool.
So this is a proper Brood Brothers kit. So before
Awesome.
they had an upgrade sprue bundled in with some Imperial Guard troopers, but now in this Kill Team, this is a proper new sculpted squad of Gene Stealer cults ambushing people.
Yeah.
now,
And they look awesome.
one presumes
Yes.
that when we get round to the Gene Stealers book, they'll have different rules, presumably. Because you know how Krieg are in the index for Astra Militarum.
Yes.
Because they came out before that. They've
Yes.
got slightly different rules to regular infantry.
Yeah.
It would be awesome if there is actually particular rules of like kind of well-equipped Gene Stealers.
Yeah.
And you might be able to run a bit more of an actual sort of turned guard army, which is really cool, or just buy them for conversions. Cause they're sort of wicked.
Yeah,
It's very, very cool. So it's sort of like a mixed squad of troopers. You've got a dodgy looking sergeant, you've got a medic trooper, banner bearer, a sniper, shotgun guy, all sorts of stuff.
It's so cool.
Very exciting. So that's going to be in Kill Team Termination, as well as some otherwise very difficult to get your hands on Gene Stealer cult models, including the Patriarch, the Broodlord, and the Magus, and some random crates.
Oh, nice. I like crates.
Great.
How big are they?
How big are they?
Yeah.
Not big enough.
How do you know?
Because they look very small.
They didn't put them in the picture on the website next to anything, so I don't know if they're this big or this big.
Yeah.
Yeah, because are they like buildings? Can you get in them?
Well, there's a little door there.
Oh, there's a service hatch there. This could be quite big.
Could be.
Well, you just said that it weren't big enough. But there's another service hatch there.
Well, maybe that's for a Votan. They would be small.
Nice, okay.
Yes, thank you.
Or for one of these little gene stealer fellas.
Yeah, maybe.
Teeny weeny fellas.
And then, right, so then these two bits really annoy me. So we've then got the Horus Heresy and Necromunda. Now, if I was doing a big event and I was previewing all the stuff I was going to talk about,
what would you do?
and I had Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, a new edition, the Old World for dwarves, Kill Team for that stuff we just talked about, and then the Horus Heresy and Necromunda. They've done 2 teaser trailers which tell us nothing.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a stretch, I think, to feature them as something.
There's a planet on the Horus Heresy there.
Yes, to feature these as equal parts of the whole preview experience.
What's this thing in silhouette here for Necromunda?
I don't know.
These
You
models
tell
look
me.
quite interesting, don't they?
They might be interesting, but they didn't show off what they are. So basically, we have 2 teaser trailers for both the Horus Heresy and for Necromunda. Horus Heresy seems to be something about Admech, and Necromunda seems to be something about going underground.
Okay.
That's as much as we know.
That's all we've been given.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
It'll be Jamiroquai down there, Necromunda.
Jamiroquai?
Going deep
underground. Nice.
It's a good track.
It's a good track. Yes.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Yes. So that
Requires it.
yeah. Imagine that. What a crossover. The ultimate crossover. No one knew it was coming. You just got JK.
You're playing in the Underhives.
Yeah.
I always knew that was the case.
Yeah. That's weird.
Instead of grenades, you just got canned heat.
Nice. Very good. Very good indeed. So that is the Adepticon 2024 preview. That's everything covered. Whilst we discussed the last couple of bits, if anyone has any additional super chats, please feel free to get in touch and we'll discuss some other stuff momentarily. What was the thing that you were most excited about?
Probably the Chaos Stormer jump pack.
Yeah.
I'm probably equally excited about the Dwarven holds and the new edition of AOS. I think those are 3 things which it's nice to see the releases keep coming for Old World. But for me, they're 3 equal things.
Yeah, pretty cool. What about you?
Chaos.
I'm
definitely the Dwarven holds as well. I think they look awesome. I am excited for the Age of Sigmar thing, but I think they kind of almost showed it off too early because they didn't really have anything to back it up with. It's almost like we need something big for Adepticon.
No kits, right?
Here's
just
here's the teaser trailer. But it's like you could have even just a little rat man would have done. I think like they did previously. I think it almost feels like there was a few things here they added on for quantity rather than quality of reveals. Whereas the Chaos one felt more fleshed out of like, oh, here's information. This was like, we're redoing Sigmar.
Yeah.
And that was kind of it. I was excited to see a bit more. Obviously, I imagine there'll be lots over the coming months, and they do want to obviously spread it out. But I would have liked just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Would have been cool.
Understandable. I'm very excited about Chaos Space Marines, obviously. Seeing that there's going to be such a big book gets me very excited. Interesting that there's been no further updates yet on the roadmap. So the last update they gave was that, what's left? We know Orcs and Custodes are coming next. Then presumably it's Chaos Space Marines. And then the last 2 that they said are coming in the spring window was Gene Stealer Cults.
Summer window.
What?
In the summer window.
Yes. Gene Stealer Cults and the Sisters of Battle, aka Adeptus Sororitas.
Yes.
So there's still a few to come.
Was it
And
this,
Redacted.
Yeah, what about
Redacted?
Redacted?
Oh, Redacted. Yeah, whatever that is.
Mystery. We
Yeah.
haven't a Scooby one.
What is
Mystery
it?
faction. Right. So I'm quite interested about this because we've discussed this a little bit right here in the TTHQ. Jeff reckons that they just don't know. They want to be flexible with their releases, so they just put it as a placeholder. I feel like it's something a bit more exciting because why would they write Redacted?
I do kind of know it.
Specifically.
I feel like they've done it before.
But they've done like question marks.
I feel they
Have
had
they
the
done that
Redacted stamp
before?
on it before.
Are they?
Well, and then it just turned out to be like a.
Well, it was just it was almost like
standard release.
instead of doing a like, I feel like they did like an inquisitorial stamp of, like to make it more 40k style, just as a like, we don't know yet. They probably know.
Oh, but that would be boring.
It would, wouldn't it? I hope it's not that.
I want it to be something amazing.
I hope it. this is when I would like it to be something like Emperor's Children.
Well,
So it's
yeah,
like,
some
ooh,
new, or some other,
Grey Knights.
It won't be Emperor's
Yeah.
Children. I think it's too soon after World Eaters to have Emperor's Children come. I wonder if they might be at the end of 10th edition.
Codex. Bring back a different faction then.
Well, this is what I'm thinking, because what we've seen so far...
Agents of armies of the Imperium.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They get their own army
Yeah.
because you can technically play them as a faction.
Well, it's an index, yeah.
So
Witch Hunters.
Flesh it out a bit. Well, we've had Space Marines and Tyranids, which got a bunch of new models. We then had... What was the name? Necrons, where they got the characters that all look the same. Then you had
Not this again.
the Admech
Yeah.
with Stiltman,
Yeah.
single model. Orcs, single model.
Yeah.
Custody, single model. Chaos, get double that. That's 2 models.
We also had a big Dark Angels release in between.
Big Dark Angels release and the crew. You then I would presume that Sisters of Battle, having such a massive range refresh only a couple of years ago, might get a new character.
Yeah.
Genestealer Cult are huge, might get a new character. Then that's probably time for another
Something
big update.
juicy.
So that's where I'm thinking, maybe it would be something big and exciting.
yeah.
Grey Knight refresh.
Grey Knights need a refresh. They look weird
They
now.
would be redacted.
They're
they
so
technically
small.
don't exist.
Because am I right in thinking that the new Guardsmen are about the same size as the Grey Knight?
Yeah, I think they're big.
That's all kinds of wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grey Knights are starting to look more and more suspect.
Yeah. Especially now all the Terminators have been redone for
Yeah.
everyone else. They are looking a bit like...
Yeah.
Prime conversion opportunity. Actually, all of the Grey Knight power weapons, the Nemesis Force weapons, they hold up on modern Primaris
They
kits
do.
and Terminators
Yeah.
because they are actually quite oversized for these small models in the first place.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whilst you could convert it all, and I've toyed with that many times, if they then go and release new dedicated kits,
As
you'll be like,
soon as you put your scalpel down,
it's
No longer
guaranteed.
redacted.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like between the releases of like the Sword Brethren kits and also the now Deathwing Knights, you could do quite a good conversion if you just get some helmets and force weapons.
yeah.
But equally, I feel like, I don't know what it... After lots of things, I feel there was a real lull of not many things were getting replaced, as it were. It was like new stuff. So it would be like the Desolation Marines, or it would be like new stuff.
Yeah.
Now I feel like they're definitely going on and updating things.
Yeah.
It feels like a dangerous time to almost convert anything
Yeah.
right now. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm holding
Except
off for me Sangre Guards, because...
Chaos Lords are
please.
jump packs.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Make your own.
Yeah, make your own now. Yeah.
What do you think? Do a super chat and tell us what you think Redacted is. Katie, what was your favourite thing about the live stream?
I have lots of favourite things because I like everything all of the time. I'm really excited for Chaos Space Marines because maybe I'll start a Chaos Space Marine army, lol, that's never going to happen. And I really like the Chaos model for Sigmar as well because it's pretty.
Yes. Was it Abraxia?
Abraxia.
Ambrosia, Lord of Custard.
That's what models should be like.
Yes.
Just
Giant
cool.
lizard riding maniacs. Jan Morton Stroud says, I thought bot invaders was the reason.
For having
first
chat on
and
subscriber
first.
only.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. No.
Oh, yeah.
We welcome our new bot overlords. Let the AI take
That
over.
was an incredibly stressful time for me.
Let's just get it over with. Get the AI in. Come on.
No.
They can do all of our battle reports.
Fight.
We can
Fight.
just move to Mexico.
Fight the robots.
Fight off the robots as they come out the sea, like they did in
Yeah.
Terminator the recent one.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning, spoiler alert.
What is it, Rise
if
of
you
the
want,
Machines?
If you want to watch the new Terminator, just switch off right now. At the very beginning,
Yeah.
the Terminator just comes out the sea and shoots John Connor in the face.
Whoa.
And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
It's on.
well, that's that
that.
then.
It would be like the Creator. We will live harmoniously with AI.
That's a good film.
Yeah.
It's a very good
yeah.
film. That's a good film. Cowgirl Steve, 26, the 26th. Kill Team boxes. Oh, Kill Team boxes are big enough to hide the Patriarch.
Oh,
That
cool.
might answer
That's
your
big.
question. That is quite
That's
big.
actually
Oh.
pretty significant terrain. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
A
Will you
chunk
only
of
get
hefty.
2 of those crates in that
at the
box?
size of a mug.
I hope they sell them separately.
Of course they won't. They're going to keep that
They might.
locked
I can
away.
hope.
Locked away.
Because look, that'd be really cool.
Oh, speaking of things...
Oh, it literally says here, these aren't dinky little metal boxes though. They are over twice the height of a normal human and can even hide the Patriarch from view. A good set of climbing equipment means the yay gears. What the hell is a yay gear?
must be
Is that the
Code Dwarves?
Yeah. Have no trouble finding a good shooting spot from atop the generatorium.
Oh, it's a generatorium, is it?
Even if they're liable to get nosebleeds from the unexpected altitude.
Is that what it said?
Because they're small, yes.
I would say as well, one thing we did we had thought about this morning was praise be
Yes.
that the Venom Crawlers and the Obliterators weren't in another Chaos
I
kit.
can't believe it.
It's like every time it's wheel that out.
But they're still not available separately.
No, because they're on the same sprue. They're literally attached like some kind of conjoined twin to each other.
So what are GW going to do about this?
They're not going to do anything. That's what they're going to do.
But you can't do that.
Here's what they need to do. Should I tell you what they need to do? First of all, make a new Defiler.
Yeah.
That's the first thing you do, because that kit is horrible. I don't care what anyone says. You're wrong if you think that kit's good. It's horrible. Oh, but it reminds me of different time. The time was a bad time. We need a new Defiler immediately. We need new, I don't know about bikes. We also, what was I talking about? Obliterators.
Yeah.
They need to do a multi-part kit for Obliterators,
Yeah.
because for some reason you can run 4.
Yeah. Do you remember when they released Mutilators?
Yeah, and then they were just gone forever.
They were.
That'd be cool to
like
bring back.
combat Obliterators.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, when Obliterators are Obliterators and Mutilators are Mutilators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Venom Crawler just needs to be its own kit. Venom Crawler's a great model.
Very cool model.
Great model.
Again, some of that, so you can make them different poses as well, so you have multiple of them.
Yeah.
They do something. Yeah, it's insane that isn't
It's pretty mad.
separately available.
Pretty mad.
It's bonkers.
I'm shocked they're not in that box, because how else are they selling? Well, actually, no, they do sell them. They sell the Venom Crawlers and the Obliterators in a kit.
Oh, do they?
If you go to the web store, you can buy those 3 models together as one kit.
Oh, you can?
What is it called?
Something stupid.
Is it called like Venom Crawlers and Obliterators?
I'm
Okay,
gonna
so you
look it up
can
right
actually
now.
buy the sprue, effectively.
You can buy
It's called
you
like
can buy the
pain
sprue.
engines or something.
I'm going to find it right now. You entertain the crowd. Oh, do you have any updates on the app whilst I'm looking for this?
I
thing?
do. So, right, league-wise, we've got a massive update coming very, very soon. Where, when I say very, very soon, probably in about 5 weeks, which is going to be called Teams and Clubs. So, if you want to join the league, which again is for free, you can, say you're part of a club like, local gaming store, or, a club which is like in the basement of a pub, and most of these clubs have names, and so that's Bad Moon Cafe in London, if you go to that can effectively be a club. What you can do is join the club, or create one if you want to be the leader of that club, and once you do that, all of the games that you submit into the open league will then also be submitted to the club. And what happens then, which is very, very clever, is the club will you can rank yourselves against each other in the club. So you effectively create your own mini league. So if you want to create your own league, with your club, then you can. You just get everyone in your club to join the club, and then you've got your own league within the club, which is really cool. Then there's going to be teams, which will have a limited amount of players that can join a team, and it will have a team captain. And those teams, all of their results in the games that they play will then rank their teams against all of the other teams in the league. So you've got 3 sort of things going on. Just
Very
general
exciting.
solo open play in the league. You've got your club play, which then gives you rankings against everyone else in your club. And then you have teams as well to see who the best little group of players or the best team is. So that's really exciting. Plus a whole bunch of UI updates, plus more updates for our events app as well. We're even probably going to do it so that you can track your games, the secondaries and so forth,
cool.
actually in-app, so you don't need to manually track that or use another app to do it. So yeah, lots of really cool things coming actually.
What an excellent tool for the gamer.
Yeah.
Isn't
and
that great?
And it's free.
And it's free.
I have a challenge for you.
You know?
If you can be the first people in to create both Team Rocket and Fight Club, I'll bestow many Scotchworths upon you.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Team Rocket. What's another good team name?
Oh, there's so many
The
good.
Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
What was the name of the kit?
Vashtor named it, so it's called Warp Forged, Venom Crawler and Obliterators.
Oh, nice.
Modulistic.
Okay.
Yeah, Warp Forged.
Forged.
Forged Warp. Why are their thighs out? I've never understood why their thighs are out.
They've
And their
exploded from their
toes.
ceramite casings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose the thigh is quite a powerful muscle.
It's like an opposite Incredible Hulk.
They do a lot of squats and.
Why aren't their butts out? They got a little butt plate.
Have they?
Yep.
It's nice.
Might
Well,
be a bit
it's nice.
rude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
Maybe they're
Imagine that.
insecure.
from
Maybe.
across the battlefield. The guardsmen saw the obliterator's butt cheeks explode from the ceramite. What was I talking about before then?
You were bringing up the
Oh yeah, I was looking up
Warforged,
that.
which you did. Thank you.
I
very
did.
much
Oh,
for
you're
that.
very welcome. Very welcome. Breaking news. Right, a few more super chats here. Armod Mats, any chance for new boarding actions games on the channel? Love the Flesh Terrors ones. Thank you for what you do! Exclamation mark.
Yes, and the more people that say it, is the more chance it will happen sooner rather than later. I have many, many plans for boarding action.
Yeah.
I've even started putting together various matchups and cool ideas and missions. Just
Yeah.
secretly in my own time.
There's even talk of us just updating the rules,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's something
being
we-
ourselves and
yeah.
putting out as a fan material.
Yeah,
or
put it
whatever.
on demand for you guys. You can just because there's various rules that don't quite translate very well to 10th, but I think we could probably make it work.
If you want something done, you gotta do it yourself.
Yeah, and it's just so good boarding
Yes.
action. So we certainly will return.
Yeah.
It's so sad that they released this whole rule set, which was really great.
It was great.
Really, really great.
And expanded so fast.
Yeah, to be honest, like it's actually what Combat Patrol should be.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Way
Because
so much
actually,
better.
you did learn 40k
Yeah.
the normal
Yeah.
way, and
Yeah.
your units had the same rules, and
Yeah.
you
Made way
carried
more
on.
sense.
Yep.
But they released obviously the terrain was really expensive, which was a tough buy-in. Although when you compare it to
Other terrain.
other things, then you could see actually relatively it was probably about the same price. But nonetheless, they release it and then they support it for a little bit, and then nothing.
Gone.
It's very sad.
Just nothing.
It's like Homer Simpson going into the bush.
They just it's like they don't even talk about it. It's just gone.
It's a dirty
Whoever
word.
made boarding action, if you're out there, we'll support you.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you, Mr. Boarding Action.
Yes.
Or Mrs. Boarding Action.
We also appreciate Elvis One Iceman. App continues to be amazing. Only wishes for more Flesh Terrors. Gabriel Seth needs a comeback. You will rock.
Yeah, thank you. I need to do another game with Seth. I'm a
Absolutely.
big fan of Seth. Part of the issue with Seth is the general rules for 10th edition and how the characters can only lead certain units. So there are some obvious go-to units that I would love Seth to lead, but he's not allowed to lead them. So then you're in this sort of weird delivery system issue, which he always had because he didn't have a jump pack anyway.
Yeah.
But yes, I will run him again soon.
Excellent. That'd be fun.
There's quite a few of characters like that across the Blood Angels index that need a little bit of thought, I think. So
They
hopefully
do.
they'll get fixed.
Maybe they should get a codex supplement.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be
actually,
good?
for them.
Hugh Tyndall, are we going to get behind the scenes video of the creation of a new studio? Love everything you do. I love everything you guys do, especially caster players.
Great.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, we are. So I know that I keep saying, yes, we're going to do a behind the scenes video and we will do a big studio reveal and event venue reveal. I'm just going to reiterate the same thing. The reason we haven't done it yet is, believe it or not, it's still not actually finished.
Yeah.
It takes that long to do this thing. Like we moved in here when the paint was literally drying. So the builders had just finished and we went, right, next day we're moving in. And then we had to unpack our entire old studio, get this studio set up as quickly as possible so we started filming. And then we had to start on the venue downstairs. So actually a lot of building work's been going on over the last 6 to 12 months. The bar went in, that took about 4 months to actually just get the equipment before it was installed. But it's all nearly finished now, actually. It is actually very nearly finished. So you will have a full tour video sooner rather than
It's
later.
the closest to finish it's ever been.
It is, hence why we were able to run our first test event.
Yeah. Which is very successful.
It is,
Very
yeah.
successful.
So I'll be open with this as well. I'm not sure whether we will put the tickets out on public sale yet, but we're probably looking at doing another test event in May.
Oh boy.
And then I think after that we will then open the venue in terms of selling tickets for future events from mid this year onwards. So keep your eyes peeled on our website. Tickets for events will go out soon.
It was so exciting having actual humans
very cool.
that weren't us
Yeah.
downstairs. It just put it was just full of life and people were playing their games.
Laughter.
And, it was great.
Good time.
Pulling some pints for all the people.
Oh.
It was wonderful.
At the lodge
thing.
bar.
Oh, the lodge bar. Oh, come
Stab
get
myself in the
your...
eye of my own finger.
You okay?
I was so excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not just getting emotional about the idea of events. That's okay. I've injured myself.
Listen, it's all right to get emotional. Don't hide your feelings.
It's so beautiful.
You were crying, weren't you?
It's so happy, so joyful.
Jan Morton Strand Denton loved to file us back in his day,
Don't talk to me about Denton.
Okay, I don't know who Denton is.
Do you not remember Denton from our glorious adventures in Caster Players?
Oh, Denton.
Yeah,
Denton. Denton. What a jerk.
Lovely Denton.
Yeah.
Why did we all hate Denton?
He was fine. R&A, any chance for Studio Space Wolves to be gracing our screens in the near future? So we're at a weird crossroads with the Space Wolves.
We nearly acquired a Space Wolf army in its totality. So I've got a budget set aside from the previous Lodge campaign for a Space Wolf army, which we started buying kits for and building.
Sorry, as soon as we started talking about Space Wolves,
what
Ragnar Ross shows up. Did someone say Space Wolves? That was instant. You Space Wolf players are crazy. It's like, how someone say Space Wolves? Rabbit.
Twilight Bark.
We started building them, and painting started. So a couple of the characters are done, and one of the units was completed. And then we suddenly got wind that 10th edition was coming, and what we didn't know was when, because Space Marine stuff is usually released earlier in the timeline. Yeah. We weren't sure, because a lot of the Space Wolf kits, let's face it, all of them actually, are just old now.
They're so old.
They're probably really going to get new kits. Yeah. Like, I can't imagine that the Thunderwolves won't get a new kit. I can't imagine that. What are they going to do with Bloodclaws and Grey Hunters?
The Thunderwolf Marines are tiny. They're so small now.
Yeah. So we were like, well, it's a bit like the Grey Knights thing. We were like, well, we could carry on. The existing units we've got will go in, because we've made them sort of agnostic. Like, basically, we've done a Blade Guard conversion. That's just going to be cool. They probably won't do a specific Blade Guard Space Wolves. They'll be, well, I forget what they're called. Wolf Guard. There we go. Yeah. So what we've got is still valid. But I think we've decided we're going to pause and wait, because we want to use the new kits before, doing an army which suddenly becomes obsolete the minute we've completed it.
A prime example is if we had Space Wolves who didn't have Dark Angels, we spent loads of time converting a Talon Master and all the land speeds and all the attack bites, and it was just like, they're all gone. Yeah. And it then becomes a real problem. So whilst we could do like a Primaris Space Wolf army, it wouldn't really have any of the actual Space Wolf units, so until we kind of know which way the wind's blowing. A
friend of mine, who's also a content creator, was maybe selling his Primaris Space Wolf army, and all of the units in it were units which would probably not be updated.
Survive.
So if he ends up selling that, then I will buy that army. So then we would have Space Wolves on the show sooner, regardless. But I think, we're likely probably going to wait for the new codex and hopefully new kits. I can't imagine they'll keep the old kits, can you?
Well, let's pause that for a second. I've got some thoughts about this. Whilst we're here, hello everyone that's watching. Very nice that you're here joining us today. We've got about 20 to 30 minutes left, roughly. We are about 1,500 subs away from 200,000 subscribers here on YouTube. So if you want to get involved in the chat, you can join us by subscribing. We'd be very excited to get to 200,000 sooner rather than later. So subscribe now, get involved in the chat. That's where you can also do the super chats before we end our little adventure through YouTube today. But we're so close to 200,000. If you want to help us get there, just hit the button right now. Just take 2 seconds to give it a click. Thank you. I heard you clicking it. So the Space Wolves, there's so many kits, they're practically like Grey Knights in terms of their need for an update at this point. You can't just throw in a couple of units here and there. You have to do the whole thing. And the interesting thing with Space Wolves is that they're not really comparable to Dark Angels, because you've got the 3 distinct wings of the Dark Angels. So they have and can do those one at a time. Whereas with Space Wolves, you're going to have to redo everything or not.
Right. I mean, Longfangs, what happens to them? Are they, it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. Like the whole transition over to Primaris, I've been very vocal of it in the past. Like the whole thing is a bit of a mess, to be honest. But I'm imagining that they will get new kits, and when they do, it's literally first in the queue. It's kind of, I can assure you of this, when the Space Wolves come, if they release new kits, it will be a drop everything and we will finish that army, so you'll have it on the channel.
I don't think it's a sort of a miss. No, I know we laugh about Fenris should have burnt and all the rest of it, but I actually think we do really like the Space Wolves. Yeah. They're really cool.
I'd love to use them in the game.
Certainly, I'd love to use them as well. It was one of my, much to how people felt, I actually thought it was one of the coolest indexes, because the way the sagas worked and the fluff side of things, I think is really exciting. So I'd love to give it a whirl.
Bjorn the Phil-handed has super chatted to say I better get a new chassis. Thanks, Bjorn. Yes, you
Bjorn.
sleepy old man. Well, yeah. I mean, there's so many things. Like Bjorn, you could put him in a Redemptor chassis.
Yeah.
And that kind of go and Murder Fang. Yeah. That's a big range.
Yeah.
That all needs redoing.
Yeah.
But then you've got some funny outliers like the Wolfen.
Yeah.
Because they're going to sort of be like an in-between kind of
Well,
size.
I think they will probably hold up.
Well, Wolfen pre-Primaris.
Yes, but they were bigger than normal Marines anyway. So I think the Wolfen they don't really need to touch. To be honest, if they invested time redoing the Wolfen and then didn't do Thunderwolves or Long Fangs or something else in the expense, I'd be a bit like, why? I was a bit like that with the Guardians for the Eldari. Like, why redo the Guardians when you still have Aspect Warriors which haven't been... Like, why? I don't understand that. You know, no. You know, sure, the new Guardians are great, but there are other priorities, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, interesting one. Very interesting. But yes, we'll get round to it when we can. Maybe there'll be a roadmap at some point. Maybe they're redacted.
Maybe they're redacted.
Imagine.
What if Russ returned?
Oh, do you think he would?
Well, I mean, look, if you refreshed, because that's a pretty significant
you kind of have to
range
don't you?
refresh. Because like with Blood Angels, you're looking at Sanguinary Guard and Death Company, right?
That's all you need. Or
That's
even
it.
just Sanguinary Guard.
You could just go Sanguinary Guard, at this stage, but you know, Space Wolves, if they really do refresh them, what better way than to have their Primarch return?
Big boy. Do you think what do you think? Okay, what would he look like? Do you think he'd be like warp tainted Viking?
Basically, it's Odin or
a werewolf.
I really hope it's not a werewolf.
I'm gonna just be the voice of Fletcher in the room because I know he really wants Russ to come back as a werewolf.
He does, yeah.
I can see him being pretty gnarly. Look, I don't think he'd go full Wolfen, but I can see like eye patch, big beard, kind of.
I would love to
knackered.
see the Odin version.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm really open to either. I don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's been gone 10,000 years and no one knows what's happening with him. Whereas like all of the Chaos ones, you know, Fulgrim we've kind of know what's going on, you know, sitting on a demon world here, raiding over here. But, you know, the guy's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
This is an opportunity to, you know, maybe even make him the return quite mysterious, and he's absolutely outraged at what the Imperium's become, and you know.
Then he joins Chaos.
Wow, he goes renegade.
I mean, I think I've said this before, but I feel if he comes back as Odin, they stay loyal. If he comes back as a werewolf, it's like, well, if he's been literally changed by the warp, he is then therefore.
No, they'll find a way to justify it. They'll find a way to justify it. Yeah,
just saying.
I don't know. It's a very controversial topic. It's a very controversial topic.
Let's not upset Ragnaros and Bjorn the Fell-Handed.
Exactly.
I really want them to redo Space. It's so cool.
Morton Strand asked, exactly how many AOS armies do you have for 4th edition? We've got Stormcast, we have the Orcs,
Deepkin,
the Deepkin, the Nighthaunt, the big fellas, the Ogres.
Yep, Ogres.
Darkbone Reapers.
Neth
Bone
Deepkin.
Reapers.
Head Knights.
Head Knights of Slanesh.
Maggotkin of Nurgle.
Maggotkin,
Yes.
so 5, 6, 7. We've actually got 8 factions.
Yeah.
And I've actually been looking. I'm always looking. So one of the other things which we committed to was a Caradron Overlords army from the last Lodge campaign. That is the next army on the queue. Admittedly, that was pre-Cities of Sigmar even being announced or released. And there's an argument that we would do Cities over Caradron at this point. But you know, regardless, I'm looking at adding another army or 2 for the new edition of Sigmar. But at the moment, one of the reasons we paused it, it's really hard to justify the cost of building and painting those armies versus the interest that we actually had from an audience, if I'm completely honest with you. You know, I'd love to do it if enough of you want to do it. And that also means, to be blunt, you have to sign up to on demand because it costs so much money to make a battle report. So, you know, it's one of those things where I'm really excited about a new edition. I hope it brings a lot of interest and, you know, a new audience. And if it does, then you'll see we'll commit to a couple more armies.
Yeah.
You know, we'll add some more back into the.
It's quite funny. You just
fray.
reminded me of a comment. I can't remember what it was now, where it was. Sorry, but someone asked what we all do for work.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think even now, like, people aren't aware, like, we all do this full time. So when we're thinking about armies to add and things like that, we've got to take into consideration the amount of time it takes to paint it, because we've only got Fletcher, our one painter, and then how much money we sink into an army, and then what the return is. Because we can't just spend money for the sake of spending money, because this is our jobs.
Yeah.
That's our jobs.
We're a business that needs to keep the lights on and pay all of the staff. It's a thing. You know, people like to eat and live. It's a thing.
It's a reasonable thing to
Other than
wish.
Fletcher, he just gets
He gets
water.
paid in Scotchworth.
Water and Scotchworth.
The finest Scotchworth we can muster. Zakon, I swear you've already been on here, Zakon, saying it's your first super chat.
It's your second
Was it with a
super chat.
CH instead of a K?
I don't
So maybe
know.
they're different Zakons.
Space Wars vs Emperor's Children double release. That would be fun.
That would be very
Ooh, what a
Ooh.
box! They wouldn't intermingle those, I don't think.
No, it feels like it should be Wolves
I think
versus
they get their
Thousand
own,
Suns, doesn't it?
their
But
own
you know,
thing.
regardless.
It could be a fluff thing that they do.
Well, yeah, it could. Yeah, they've got the opportunity to write that. I mean, we're a bit light on the good Primarchs at this point, aren't we? Well, I mean, we've had the Lion return.
We've got 2. Bobby G and the Lion. I think you also got to be careful not to tip the scales, because you don't want the goodies to be too powerful, because there's no threat.
Yeah,
I feel a 4th Demon Primarch coming back would be cool.
full grid.
Don't get me started on that, because like I
Here he
feel with the
comes.
coming of Primaris, which are far outweigh and far superior to any Chaos Space Marine, despite the fact they've been in the war for 10,000 years. Regardless.
Get upset.
Maybe the Emperor's Children could have like Fabulous Bill come up with some sort of Chaos Primaris equivalent.
Well, he's no longer Emperor's Children.
No,
But
yeah,
maybe
it's
they're
not.
all like chatting.
Well, he
aren't
is. That is the
Yeah.
talk.
Group chat.
Oh, Buds, yeah.
But that is the talk. That is in the fluff. That is what he's doing.
they? They'd be stealing that gene
But the
seed,
problem
wouldn't
you have with that is, do you want to redo all of the relatively recently redone
Yeah,
Chaos Marines?
they? Yeah.
They look good.
They look
Yeah, they look
great.
wicked.
The Chaos Range is really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'd like to see some more Legion upgrade sprues.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
They've done Night Lords. Give my Iron Warriors.
Like they do with guys.
Give me my Iron Warriors,
Like
please.
have a kit for each of the basic infantry.
That'd be cool.
Like you've got Krieg, you've got Cadians, you've got regular infantry, you've got
Yeah.
the sort of variation then. That's
You
what
can
goes through.
still buy Catachan Jungle Fighters on the online on the
can.
web store.
Oh, you can?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, they've got rules. It's
Oh,
crazy.
that's cool.
They lay down mines and stuff. They're really cool.
Crazy. Hollow Proof says the lion would destroy Russ for the lion.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, they're not best friends.
And here all Space Wolf players going, no, he can't.
Well, didn't he knock him out? He did. Yeah. So the Lion knocked Russ out because Russ like Russ was winning, you know, and then he sort of realised, oh, this is silly, brother. Ha 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 ha. Poof. But the Lion was not. He
Man
didn't
doesn't
find
knock
it.
him out, does he?
He didn't find it funny.
No.
I don't think he finds many things funny.
Although in
Not
the
a funny
Sons of
guy.
the Forest, yeah, he's not too amusing.
No.
He's not up for quips. In the Sons of the Forest, but there's a bit when he has like a dream sequence when he fights all his brothers in his head, and he even says to himself that while he might have beaten Russ once before, he's too old to do it again. He's getting
his
on the
limits.
Lion. He feels knackered, which is
Oh.
kind of cool. So it'll be interesting to know how this happened. But then he banished Angon recently in the fluff, so I don't know anymore.
Well, he was always like, I know him and Russ were considered like the warriors. Like the Lion was, but I mean they've all got their.
They're all pretty good at fighting, aren't they?
Yeah, they've all got their.
The Russ's story towards just before the Siege of Terror in the 30k novels, his story is very, very cool.
I love
very
Russ.
cool
It's
indeed.
a whole, it's just cool.
Beyond the Fell-Handed has come back saying, I hope Russ returns. I have some issues to work out with him.
Yes, yeah. They've got some catching up to do.
John Donahue wanted to drop in to share my love with you. Oh, that's nice. I'm looking forward to going to the start and watching the whole thing. All of our videos?
I think he might mean the live stream.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Come
Or
here.
the Heresy.
Go
It's
back
either-
to
it's
episode
either
1
our
in the
live
kitchen.
stream or the Heresy.
If you're going to do it properly. Back to Iron Warriors versus Drakari in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Still on YouTube, actually.
Why not
Don't watch it.
Take you to watch it. I don't
All
know.
of them?
Yeah.
It's only been 10 years. Can you believe that?
A long time.
Yeah, nearly 10 years.
Oh boy.
I know, 10 years June this year, yeah.
Also, congrats, Beard, on your boon from the gods. Jump Pack Lord lives. Yes, he does.
It's very cool.
Yes, he does. Don't love the model, but he's usable in the game.
Maybe you could convert him as like Zagstruck's
Maybe I
Pincer
already
legs.
have.
Yeah.
With Zack Strike's pincer legs, that'd be cool.
So he's lost like or some
Yeah.
sort of weird, like creepy.
Yeah.
Actually, make him like a vulture.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Or just replace his legs with a big propeller. We've got a Jump Lord for our Black Legion. He's really cool.
really cool.
Really cool. Looking forward to getting him out.
Double chainswords.
Commander Bernhardt is back. Should League loser do the Hot Ones challenge?
Yes.
Well, we're thinking about doing a big live stream for when we surpass 200,000 subs, and we might do something crazy like that.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
Oh, okay.
I curated the last spice challenge we did because, needless to say, I am a bit of a spice fiend.
Spice Lord.
To the point of I did eat a whole jar of pickled chilies yesterday. That's a whole nother story. But I have done the Hot Ones challenge, and I think we need to do some preparation before because it got scary last time, and I don't want to lose any of you.
Yeah.
But maybe.
I'll die for the.
I
Hot Ones
hate
challenge.
spice. I
good.
hate it.
It is good,
Anything
it's good.
mild to medium's fine for me. Above that, I don't understand why you would.
Great.
I'd quite literally rather get punched in the face. And I do. Every week, kickboxing. And I prefer that.
Speaking of kickboxing, deck boxes is our next super chat. Isn't that
nice.
weird?
Well, that was the segue that I gifted
weird?
to
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Planned that.
Deck boxes initially joined on demand when we started Age of Sigmar. Very excited to that it might return.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
We
that's
need
good
more
to
than
hear.
one. We need more than new deck
that's good to
boxes. We
hear.
need one more. But
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Scotchworth's back.
Yes!
When Fletcher returns from Adepticon, give him an extra Scotchworth from me. A Scotchworth
We'll
from
make it so.
Scotchworth. I wonder. Oh, come on, Fletcher.
I know,
Come on,
on, Fletch.
Come on,
he's,
Fletcher.
He's entering Golden Demon. I'm actually really nervous for him.
Yeah.
It's just I want it.
exciting, man.
You know, it is exciting.
Yeah.
You know, it's that anticipation. Oh goodness.
His entry is amazing.
It's really it's ridiculous.
It's so good. We'll show you when he's back what his entry was, but it is safe to say it is spectacular,
It is.
even for his standards.
Yeah.
John Donahue, Bard, if you wanted to see Bile working towards Primaris, read or listen to Gene Father. Had to super chat so you could see this. Trust.
Oh, thank you very much for the recommendation. I'm really getting into the Black Library audio walks.
Yeah, they're good.
So yeah, thank you very much. I'm always out there for recommendation.
Excellent. And we'll finish with one last super chat, I think.
Two more, by the way.
There's two more super
one's just
chats.
popped
Oh,
up.
yeah. Oh, Goose. This is right. If someone else can get one more in before I finish Goose's, then I'll read yours out. Otherwise, I won't. Prometheus Williams.
Nice.
I hope that's your real name.
It's a really cool name.
Prometheus
I wish I
Williams.
called my kid Prometheus
Yeah,
Williams.
Prometheus Williams.
Prometheus Williams pointing. Bacon and eggs. You can't survive eating models unless you're Fletcher. I don't know what this is in relation to.
You can't survive.
Bacon and eggs. You can't survive eating models unless you're Fletcher.
I think this was in reference to our conversation about the fact that we have to be paid so we can eat.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
You can't pay him
Yeah.
just in Scotchworths.
Yeah.
Although,
No.
if you listen to one of the recent episodes of the podcast, we go into great details of what a Scotchworth is.
Yeah.
So, is it sweet? Is it savoury?
Listen, if you start to on demand, access the podcast, we talk about what kind of bread we are, what a Scotchworth might be. We make up rules for stuff. It's crazy.
It's great. It's a good time.
It's a good time. Episode 37 will be airing on Monday.
On Monday.
Treat your ears and your face orbs to our show.
Face orbs.
Yeah,
Nice.
the podcast. 37 episodes.
37 episodes. It's
Each
crazy.
one as good as the last, if
Yeah,
not
great.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting great suggestions from you guys.
Yeah.
Prometheus Williams, I don't know if he's being honest, has said yes, birth name. As in yes.
Wow.
No, your name isn't Prometheus.
It is, and that's
no, I'm
that's
thinking-
so cool.
Promethium, like the fuel in Warhammer.
Yeah, which is based off of Prometheus,
Prometheus.
which is the
Fire?
Titan that stole fire
That's a
Yeah.
very cool name.
from Zeus.
Oh.
Prometheus.
Oh.
Oh,
Have you
I
seen-
salute you.
There's a new Aliens film coming called Romulus.
Oh, I didn't know this. Are you
There
serious?
was a poster.
Ooh.
What, aliens? What?
Hideo
as in-
Kojima reposted it.
Oh.
Oh, that's
so exciting.
interesting.
Are you making noises because I just said aliens?
Because it's exciting.
I thought something was broken.
No,
What is it?
sorry, I really enjoy the Alien series.
Yeah, so do I. Is it the director then that did...
Ridley Scott's produced it. Someone else has directed it.
well, so the director that did District 9...
Oh.
Yeah, I forget his name. He's great. It's really annoying. So I bet my boss is going to tell me.
Something.
It's directed by Fade Alvarez.
Okay, that's not him. So he was green-lit to do it, and it was going to be a direct sequel from, it was going to be like Colonial Marines based, direct sequel
yes,
of Aliens.
please.
But so obviously it's not going to be that now. I don't know what it is now.
Yeah.
Oh, Aliens is such a good film.
Yeah.
James
Written
Cameron,
and directed by Fed Alvarez, and it's been produced by Ridley Scott, Michael Pruss, and Walter Hill.
Okay.
Cameron back on it.
Yeah.
Let's get us Aliens too.
He's too busy.
He's too busy
his
in
sub.
Waterworld at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Pandora time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes. We've got 3 more super chats. Right, these are the last 3, and then we are leaving to go and find out more about Aliens Romulus. Goose. Hello again, Goose. Wait.
What?
Does this mean Beard is actually going to make a jump pack Lord for his Iron Warriors now? I remember the podcast you admitted you didn't have one. I will make one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to.
I remember
And it's
that
going to
was
be pretty
quite
sweet.
shocking.
Although I have no Raptors or Warp Talons in my army. So maybe I won't.
We'd have to then get accompanying Raptors or Warp Talons. You just need to do him and a squad. That's it.
Got a Demon Prince on the way.
That's nice.
Demon
Very
Prince
cool.
will hopefully be ready for whenever that codex comes out.
That's
Oh,
fun.
that's exciting.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
decent. Looks very cool.
That's
Very nice.
exciting.
Very cool.
Okay.
The heaviest bolter I could find's been in touch. Oh, I love it. For the Spice Challenge, perhaps integrate them into the game. Sustain hits for a unit, but you have to have some source. Sustained.
Source
Sustained. Sustained.
Your
yes.
top would be source stained.
Maybe we should do.
But
we
then you'd
should-
have to ensure you're running multiple weapons with the sustained rule. Just
Yeah.
to,
Devastating
Yeah.
wounds is the hottest.
yeah.
We need to think about our 200,000 celebrations, don't we?
Yeah,
'Cause it's not
we
very
do.
far off. Listen, all 546 of you watching right now, if you all hit subscribe right now, we'll be there very quickly. So
What?
just hit the button, for goodness sake. And finally, to finish us off, Scotchworth's been back in touch.
Oh,
He just says sweet and creamy.
Oh, I mean, if
What? Who better than he would know?
if
Yeah.
Scotchworth himself is landing on the sweet side of the Scotchworth divide, because I was all in on the savoury, but I'm quite a savoury customer, so
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy
I'll
the
take
savoury. Sweet or savoury?
I'll probably go savoury.
Savoury?
Yeah, I would.
Savoury?
But a Scotchworth is sweet and creamy, as we've just
Yeah.
established.
Katie, you sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Okay.
I get very stressed.
Lovely. Well, thank you all for being here with us today in this live stream. We've talked all about Adepticon and all of the previews, which we're very excited about, especially Chaos Space Marines, and a brand new episode. No, what's it? Edition of Age of Sigmar. We've got lots more to see about that in the coming months. I would wager.
Yeah.
And that's the end. I've run out of things to say. Very close to 200,000 subscribers. Thank you to everyone here that has subscribed. We are very excited to hit the 200,000 mark. We're also very excited to nearly have 2,000 active participating gamers in our league, in our app, with over 5,000 people signed up already, which is very, very exciting indeed. Check that out, play some games, log it all in the league and see how you rank with all the players around the world. Maybe you could do better than me, who's currently a 128th ranked Chaos Space Marine player. It's not a great title, is it? Really?
It's not bad.
It's
Not too bad.
it's not great. 128. Imagine if you came 128th in something that you were trying really hard in.
Well, what if it was out of 10,000 people? You go, pretty good.
If you were the 128th legionary
Yeah.
in the Iron Warriors, you'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I guess so. And so I'm on demand. I've been talking for too long. Thank you for joining us. I've been joined by Mr. Lawrence Bake, the Spider himself. I've been joined by Mr. James Jordan, the Bard himself. We have been joined by Katie Fode, the Jinx, on the 1s and 2s. Sorry, I said the.
It's
And
fine.
I am also Castle Bead, aka Joe Pointing. I hate saying my own name. It sounds weird in my head. You've all been bosses. Thank you for being here. We'll see you very soon, right here on Tabletop Tactics.
Scotchworths for all.